What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Dev and the Bear. Today we're going to have a special guest with us. We've been very excited to have him on. His name's David Tran Nguyen. And if you don't know about him, you're about to learn a lot about him because there is a lot to learn about him. He is the owner and head coach at his gym, Temple Construction. He's an amateur fighter, record of 1-0. He's got his own line of CBD products. He's an actor, a model. There's nothing this guy can't do. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on the show, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you having on. What is there not to talk about, man? You just got so much going on for you. Well, I guess, do you want to start in like a chronological?
Yeah, man. Wow, a lot. You know, life is a beautiful journey. Really, it really is. And I'm always going to give first glory to God because I shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be in prison, I could be dead right now, I could be unhealthy, a lot of different routes I could have taken, you know what I'm saying, or happened to me in my life. Right. And I've seen it happen to the closest people around me, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm Vietnamese, you know, I love H-Town. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. Y'all didn't know that?
I forgot to say, the Vietnamese Viper.
Yes.
And yeah, I did not know you were from Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right?
Crazy.
Yeah. Born in 1980, all right? I'm an 80s child. And yeah, my parents came as Fall Saigon refugees. My dad served in the military. My mom was a country girl. They got on a big boat and came to, United States. Thank you, United States. That's why I love my country. You know what I'm saying? I don't fall in that anti-American stuff. I know there's not a lot of great things going on, but, that's my relationship with my country. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm always going to know I'm Vietnamese American, right? Yeah. Right. So because it gave my people an opportunity, my family here. And which starts off with my dad's sacrifice, and I learned a lot about that from my dad, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they moved to New Orleans, Louisiana, and I have a lot of my mom's family there, and I was born there and came to Houston in 83. And growing up in the streets of H-Town, being a minority of minorities, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because here comes Vietnamese culture to United States in the 80s is still brand new. Yeah. We literally just arrived 5 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And everybody thinks we're Chinese or Korean or Japanese. Like, what is Vietnamese now, right? Right. So, man, that's the history of my family putting a thumbprint on our world.
So you're first generation Vietnamese American.
Yeah, a firstborn generation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I took that to pride too because I know looking at other cultures of like Germans or let's say any other European cultures that came here that have been here longer, look at the beautiful success that this country has given them. So I knew me being a firstborn here, I must take that to create for my future generations, create that threshold, which allowed me to go for my dreams as well. I kind of open up that funnel for restaurant experience, entrepreneurship, fitness training, acting, modeling, entertainment, all those in one, MMA, because I chose to sacrifice and go for my dreams and achieve all that.
Right, and that's kind of what the definition of the American dream is you come to the country and you make a future with it. Is that being a first generation Vietnamese American, American born Vietnamese, and stuff like that. So it's like you came over and you're like, I have to make something out of myself, and you have something, and you have obviously very strong values instilled from your parents with you, and so. So where did, I guess, because obviously, like we talked about before, is like, I can't believe you're 41. Like, you look like you're 23.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's sure. It's a blessing, Yeah,
it's like I told Zach, and it's like, I see why you call your gym Temple Construction. Like, you are the embodiment of your body as a temple. And so, I guess just really, how did you kind of have an idea that you were kind of an athlete,
Yeah, thank you, bro. Well, thank you so much. That's very, and that's my purpose, to make noise without making noise. Right. And you feel the energy, you see the vibes, you understand that. Mm-hmm. And that's my calling and my purpose on this planet. I'm going to share Temple Construction with everybody. I'm living my dreams because I experienced Temple Construction myself. You know what I'm saying? I went through it. Growing up, I had a lot of energy, man. I'm a high energetic, but I was always eating bad, unhealthy. My parents didn't know sugar, cereal, sodas, everything. Growing up, my dad was a chef, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad had his own restaurant industry, restaurants and stuff. So my dad always cooked at home. We always was blessed with a good meal. Mm-hmm. Now that I look back at it, you know what I'm saying? Having your dad cook fresh meals all the time, authentic cuisines from Vietnam, you know what I'm saying? When other families probably didn't get food on their table. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We maybe didn't have the nicest home, but my dad got us an apartment or a nice little home house that we all lived in. 2-bedroom. You know what I'm saying? It was my mom, dad, one room, and all the kids in one room.
Yeah.
4 of us shared. I had bunk beds. I had to share. I lived with women my whole life. Well, growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because I had 3 sisters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had that experience. I understand the women culture of that too, right?
Right.
Yeah, so fast forward to everything else. Now that I was living unhealthy, right? Used to have cavities, bad, and then growing up real chunky. But I always loved playing sports, so that balanced it. I was outside playing basketball, football, learning from all the young black and Hispanic kids and the white kids in the neighborhood. I was the only Asian. I grew up in a low income neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So all we can do is play outside, right? So I always played sports. I grew up watching the Houston Oilers, the Astros. I just love sports, the Rockets.
Yeah.
You know, Elijah Warren back in the Moses Malone, Jeff Bagwell back in the days, also Craig Biggio, Glenn Davis, Nolan Ryan back in the days, Earl Campbell, Warren Moon, Love Your Blue. You know, all those great teams, man, just growing up. And then obviously WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got to see prime what's called
the
attitude
real,
era.
yeah. So that planted. This is gonna get somewhere. That planted like, wow, look at Hulk Hogan. I can never. What if? That's amazing. You know, Rocky. Wow, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these amazing actors like I'm seeing on TV. Like, wow, I wish I can do that one day. Even Jesus hanging on a cross had a 6-pack. I'm like, man, I want to get a 6-pack, you know? You know, so it was always like one of my goals. Like I planted in my head and never think that I could. And then I saw Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? Huge inspiration in my life. Probably the number one inspiration as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Michael Jordan, all the guys, the mainstream guys that Bo Jackson we talked about earlier.
Yeah, right.
You know, all those guys that we grew up with, you know. So I always played outside. That was my athletics. I was playing. I was getting good. I was like, wow, I can catch a football. I can throw a baseball. I was hitting, you know, I was catching, you know, it was like just street style, outdoor playing with other kids that were allowed to play in those little leagues because their parents could afford it.
Yeah.
So I was playing with other little leaguers, but I just wasn't part of the little league team because my dad never wanted to put money into it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't believe I was going to be an athlete, right? Come on, I'm supposed to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a lawyer. Okay, you be a doctor. Okay, you be a lawyer.
You're right.
It's that Asian stereotype.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's just
That's funny, man.
yeah. And then now flashback, and this is in Spring Branch growing up, you know, being the only Asian kid, but I wish to always play. And then of course all the black kids athletic.
Right.
I grew up with some athletic black kids. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I love them. They're like my brothers. That's why I have a great connection. You know, ever since I was open to the world.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in like an all Vietnamese community. Like they're out there. I grew up in like a mixed pot of different cultures growing up, which allowed me to have friends that were black best friend, my white best friends, my Hispanic best friend. I had best friends of all cultures. My Asian best friends. You know what I'm saying?
Give you that cultural diversity to accept everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, of course, I was still the Chinese. Ching Chong, Chink,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Charlie. I heard it all growing up. Gook. Come on, I heard it all.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee. I appreciate them calling me Bruce Lee now because now I embody him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Was there ever any like racial bullying growing up at all?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's how, which leads to me getting a lot of street fights when I was a little kid. Like I was picked on all the time, but I had this fire spirit. I had this, belief about me, like this toughness about me, that I had to protect myself. I put in a situation where I go get in fights all the time, beat up kids, take them down, fight them, or I get beat up. You know, vice versa. I got a lot of fights growing up as a kid, in the school buses, playing basketball, playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like I just had to man up about it. You know what I'm saying? I got bullied all the time, big kids, gangsters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like thugs. You know what I'm saying? Like I witnessed a lot of stuff on the streets too. Kentwood Village, growing up in Spring Branch. It was, a lot of drug dealing going on and all kinds of craziness. You hear gunshots at night. Yeah. It's trying to sleep at night. You hear craziness. You hear people chasing each other. You know what I'm saying? You see prostitution going on.
Yeah.
You see grown-ass men fighting in the basketball court, throwing 40-ounce bottles at each other.
So.
Yep. That's Houston.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But it's just part of, like you said, it's just part of the culture. It's
part
of what
the
it
culture,
is.
But it made me, really tough. You know what I'm saying? So, playing sports. So, finally, middle school came around. I played sports in middle school, played football and basketball. I always wanted to be the quarterback, so I tried to go for this position. I saw myself. I played backup quarterback. I was good enough for that. Played some strong safety, some cornerback, for Springwoods Hawks, and then I loved 7th, 8th grade playing football there, and I played basketball, and then that's when acne came around and growing up, and then the transition. We moved to a different area. We moved to more of a northwest area, right there at HISD. Watanga Magnum. Now that was just another deeper hood.
Yeah.
I think something happened with and now looking back, my dad's finances transition, things change, right? You know, growing up as a kid, you don't understand all that stuff, right? But now I look back, I'm like, I understand why my dad changed from this rental to that rental. But my dad reopened a restaurant, so he had to keep the living expenses lower, right? And he wanted to move closer to downtown because that's where our restaurant was. My dad's an entrepreneur. My dad's an entrepreneur. He's a chef who's an entrepreneur. That's where I got that from. You know what I'm saying? My dad did it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The work ethic of the restaurant industry. You know that.
Yeah.
But imagine owning one. You know what I'm saying? And those roles. So I always grew up in a work ethic. Right at high school, my dad would pick us up and we would go work at the restaurant right after school. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really have much of a social life because right after school, my dad would pick us up. I would work bussing tables, going to the grocery store, washing dishes. My dad put me in a work ethic environment, which taught me so much.
Yeah, that's something you see a lot with family-owned restaurants. Is you know, they always bring their kids in. And do that kind of stuff.
And which was good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it so much. And I've grown so much. And I worked. And I noticed I was good at working. 15. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And fast forward to that gave me great experience working downtown, witnessing my dad's skills back then. Wasn't always good. You know, he was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? And then towards the end of the tenure of the restaurant, he was selling it. He kind of gave up on it. It was just a lot of stress. And he kind of networked with the wrong crowd for a little bit. And then he went to a different job, different style. And I saw the struggle of my family, you know what I'm saying? Mm. And that's when I started thinking differently. You know what I'm saying? Then I started getting a job and I would work and I would give my dad my paychecks. Literally. I would work at the movie theater. It was my first job. Looking back now, it's kind of cool how I was working in the movie theater and now I'm in movies.
Yeah.
Doing commercials, having opportunities, right? That's just the beauty of life, man. So I'm so happy to share this. Like, if I could freaking do it, I did it on this plane, I did it in the streets, I did it. Y'all can do it, man. So, did that, work in the restaurant, give my dad to help out with the rent and bills and that sisters, right? And, then high school came around at Wall Trip and I started hanging with the wrong crowd. I got kicked out of sports. And actually, that happened in my high school before I got kicked out of sports. I started hanging with the wrong crowd. You know, one of my teammates led me to steal from other schools, and I was just doing something stupid because I was just a follower too at the same time, like a dumbass. I was just dumb. I thought I could trust my homeboy. I learned a lot, and that took me out, and I started getting in trouble, and I started hanging with the wrong crowd, and I started dealing with drugs, and I started making extra money selling 3 for $5 sweets in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I just had the hustle mentality, man. Yeah. I was work ethic. I had to work. I wanted to make money. I wanted more. Now looking back, I always had that in me. Yeah. I wanted to sell it because I had nothing. I had Pro Wings. I wore the same Converse shoes throughout my whole middle school. I didn't have nice clothes. I grew up not ever having much either. I grew up not having nice things. It was very rare. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I had to go wherever my dad can take me to buy a couple shirts from Wieners. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And wear it again each year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really struggled. You know what I'm saying? And have a big family. And now I appreciate it because it made me hungry. And then it led me to a senior high school. Started selling drugs, hanging out with the wrong people. I was selling ecstasy and things like that. And then I started selling cocaine. Yeah, man, like at the nightclub. Just starting small, just trying to be a wannabe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then I started selling acid at school. And that's when I got busted. Someone snitched on me.
And so what happened from there? Like,
got expelled, went to jail, HPD, got me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the school cop stopped me right after high school and said, hey, David, come over here right outside of art class. And he arrested me because he knew I had it. Mm. So, I mean, and then, I experienced, going to jail and then going to court, probation, having it down on my record, and blah, blah, blah. And I was young. I was 17. Yeah. Then I had to go to a different, school for a while. But then I always worked. I was working at the restaurant Papados at the time.
Okay.
Papados. Yeah. I transitioned from being a host. I said, I want to be a busser now. okay, because I want more hours. In the host, I wasn't getting enough hours. I need to make some money. I'm not even going to school right now. I'm like, you know. I said, okay. So I became a busser. I was a hustler as a busser. Then they moved me up to shucker. I was in the oysters. I was setting up the display. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was just had that mentality of moving up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I knew there was a system behind it. You do it right. You do your work hard, get results. You're gonna get recognized and get promoted. So I kind of that instilled in me when I was working.
And when you take that and you apply it to fitness. And when did you start working with fitness and use that as a big part of your life?
So one of the funny things, I joined the gym because I had an ex-girlfriend at the time, and I was dating her, and she joined the gym. So I joined because of her, but I was a jealous boyfriend at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So fine, I'm gonna join too. You know, I'm join with you, but I didn't take it for seriously. Yeah. And then after living an unhealthy lifestyle, going out drinking, eating Jack in the Box at 2-3 in the morning, you know, having acne breakouts here and there, being very angry. I was hitting the gym a little bit, but much more for like aesthetics wannabe, like just a pump. You know, I didn't do it right. I didn't know the right way of working out, but I wasn't living healthy either. You know what I'm saying? I did drugs. I drank a lot. Not that I don't today, but I was living way unhealthy. It wasn't the right way.
It was more of a binging thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, I was demonically possessed. You know, looking back, I was in an evil spirit mindset. You know what I'm saying? I was not right. You know, I was wanting to hurt people in the club, going out. Yeah. I was wanting to fight people in the streets. You know, I was living, you know, awful. You know what I'm saying? I was want to be a thug. You know what I'm saying? Short-tempered. I had a good work ethic. I always worked at a restaurant, though. As one thing I always did was had a job. You know, I always went to go work. I always had to. Because I always wanted to make money, right?
Right.
But I always had side hustles. You know, growing up in your young teenagers and young 20, you want to have side hustles. Well, fast forward, I was dating the wrong girl. She got me to, you know, bad lifestyle, hanging out with the wrong people. Stepped away from her because she was demonically possessed too. You know what I'm saying? So I got some of her demons. And then I got saved. Yeah. I got a low point in my life. I had a horrible relationship with my family at the time. I was trying to chase a girl. She was not giving me the love. And then I just had this spiritual transformation.
How did that come about then? Like with your introduction into church? Is that where you're...
Yeah. This is because I grew up in a Catholic church. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I went through Catholic school as a Vietnamese in Catholic church and went through that route. But I never really had a true, like, I knew there was a Jesus Christ, or at least in my family, you know? Because in Vietnamese, you're either Buddhist or you're Catholic Christian.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is Catholicism a big thing in Vietnamese culture?
Yeah, it is, actually. It's small, and that would, you know, impact the war, too, you know? They had people who would shoot the Catholic churches and kill the nuns and priestesses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So these are the stories my dad told me. You know, which is true.
Your dad was in the Vietnam War.
Yeah, and my dad had his people were killed for their faith. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Massacres. That's what my dad was real big about, faith, and I saw that in him growing up. But I never really understood it because I didn't understand Vietnamese that much. So I went to Vietnamese Catholic churches in St. Jerome, Spring Branch, Holla. You know, it's still there. And but you know, it wasn't really, it was just going through it, you know what I'm saying? Just going through it. It wasn't, you know, because, you know, here I see my dad being an abusive man. My dad was very abusive because he was going to experience his own demons. Yeah. Think about it, Vietnam War vet, you know how much, my dad done some crazy things from what I was told in the Vietnam War, which hunts him back in his end of his life, which the curse came back to him, he said. One of his last weeks in the hospice at my house when he was dying of stage 4 liver cancer, he would say, the reason why I'm going through this suffering and pain is probably because of what I did in the war. Because my dad was pretty much like the Vietnamese in the Marines, Marine. His people was dropped off, Vietnamese airborne, in the jungles to eliminate the enemy to make the way for the Americans to come through. That was my dad's role in the war. And he lied about his age and his name so he could enroll in the military.
He was too young?
Yeah, he was too young, My dad was gangster like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is where I get this fighting spirit from. Which is why I want to represent the Vietnamese, because I want to carry his legacy through his culture and his faith, because I wouldn't be here without that, you know? Yeah. It's deep. I want to get deep about my purpose of why I'm fighting.
Well, I'd say you're representing really well when it comes to, like you were talking about faith. who we were talking about recently with you was Jeremy Milborn. I met Jeremy Milborn at church. We went to church in Houston, Berean Baptist.
Good to know, bro. Okay, good. Yeah.
So that's where I met him back in like 2000. I don't even know, 7. And yeah, I think growing up in church is a big deal. I think that makes a huge difference in people's lives. Just to kind of build the kind of person they're going to be.
Yeah.
And you getting to learn from your dad's experiences and his stories, and then applying faith to that, I think definitely builds the kind of person that you are and are becoming still.
Wow. Thank you.
And a big part of that, you're using fitness, you're using nutrition, you're using this focus of putting all of that into living the right way. And your dad's a big part of that.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, I think you're absolutely representing Vietnamese community very well.
Thank you, bro.
Like all the different titles we were able to introduce you as.
Yeah.
That's insane. Most people don't even get to do one of those, and you're doing all of them all at once. That's a big deal. And moving on with that, what did you tell us about Van TV?
Oh, yes. Thanks, bro. Yeah. So, we're actually... Good
segues.
Yeah. We're on the right time because I'm sharing the story at the same time.
Right.
So then I got saved and got started doing fitness. Then I went to a church, Joyful House of Prayer. Pastor Bart, he prayed over me. I got saved, felt amazing, a crazy release of this boulder over me. Like I felt a boulder coming off my shoulder.
Right.
I hugged my Pastor Bart so hard that I put nail imprints in his back. You know, and I share the story all the time because that's how much I cried and wept so much, and it felt so good to lift that pain and that depression, that hurt, that loneliness, that failure, that everything that I experienced, during those times in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it felt good to finally release it. Yeah, and as I'm doing praise and worship, I started fitness, and then I started noticing that I love fitness, and I had to go. I got a job at Cafe Express as a manager, and that was a great transition because I was managing at Minute Maid Park in the restaurant. We opened up 9 Amigos back there, so this is also transitioning of my growth in the restaurant industry. I always wanted to become a restaurant manager. That was one thing I wanted to do, but I was a great trainer, bartender. I did all the roles of restaurant, working for Olive Garden, Memorial City Mall area. So I grew up in the ranks of a position. I wanted to be a manager, had a lot to go. I was just hungry, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that role as a manager was going to make me very accomplished because I had a choice: either go to college or just keep going with the restaurants. College wasn't working for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did it because I did it community college. I got my basics. Probably barely got my basics, to be honest. And then it was just not for me. You know what I'm saying? And then because I was also on probation at the time too, things like that. So I was experiencing all these transitions and disciplines and being good, trying to be when I was in my younger 20s. And then now with that experience, and then after I got saved, I was still in the restaurant industry, and I got the job at Cafe Express, right? And then I started working out more. Then that's when I transformed. You know what I'm saying? I took fitness a lot more, and then I started getting results because I was on a set schedule. I went to work out, bam, 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 bam. I was just part of my routine. Went to work 8 to 10 hours, got off, went to the gym. I wanted to just always work out because I love playing basketball growing up. I used to play football, basketball all the time, baseball. Even did co-leagues, those leagues and stuff like that. And I always loved doing the sports, So I always had this athletic background, you know what I'm saying? And I always worked out. And then I just took bodybuilding seriously. I was like, I want to become a bodybuilder because I was around these amazing guys. So I started training at Bally's back in the day. And then I met some bodybuilders. I said, I want to do my first bodybuilding competition. I want to go for it. You know, so I want to see, because I was getting some good transformation, getting good tips from local guys, local bodybuilders. And then I started training at Metroflex. Heard of Metroflex Gym?
Yeah.
Well, Ryan had that gym here in Houston area back in the days. And I started training there, and I just took my game to a whole nother level. Became a motherfucking beast.
Have you ever heard of Street Beefs?
Maybe.
It's like a YouTube fighting organization. We were recently watching one. There's a guy from Houston Metroflex.
Metroflex?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, show me his name, yeah.
Yeah,
can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either, but I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, send it to me later.
I heard that and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. So that was crazy. Because it's a hardcore facility gym.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're the main one's in Dallas. So he kind of leveraged the name, the corporation with the main one, and and I got into bodybuilding because I met him when I went to get my personal training certificate. Because while I was doing restaurants, I was like, you know what, I want to learn this. I want to learn how to be a personal trainer too, because I was seeing what it was doing to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just now I just started doing bodybuilding, and then I would go in there hardcore style, man, in the heat warehouse, old dumbbells and this and that. I stopped going to Valley. I started going there, and I just got to my first competition. And I learned from some local greats, and then I got my first natural. I didn't want to do steroids. A lot of guys were popping steroids, doing steroids to do a bodybuilder.
Yeah, especially back then.
Yeah, especially and it's so common. I was around it. I knew it's obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but I chose to go the natural route because I met a couple of natural guys. Jose Campos, my brother, natural bodybuilder. Jason Powell, those guys, natural. You know what I'm saying? I learned the ropes. You know what I'm saying? And proper supplementation, and eating and drinking.
Yeah.
You know, the old school way, doing 2 days and doing the natural way. And I just built it, scoped it, transitioned, bam, experienced weight cuts for the first time, did a photo shoot, and just went from there and just kept on going and did another thing, and it just, oh my God, this is what I love. And like, it was so rare because I was Asian.
Yeah.
Doing this too.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a lot of them, so I was getting that leverage. And then social media started coming around. Remember?
MySpace.
I never did MySpace. That was when I was against social media.
Okay.
I did Facebook was my first one. Yeah, I didn't do the MySpace. I was in that zone where I was in social media. I don't want that. I was in the spiritual, like, you know, I don't need all that.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, I'm just working out, eating, and no drinking, no smoking kind of guy. But then when I started seeing how important it was and got on Facebook, and I said, F it, I'll join.
As an entrepreneur,
you
have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially these days. Look at where we're at now. If you're not on social media, your business is struggling because of that.
Yeah, you're right. You're doing it for the right reasons. Now, if you're doing it to talk smack and do misinformation and troll and do all that, then you shouldn't. And then when I was praising worship at church, man, we was singing a song about your heart is a temple for God. You know, your body is a temple. And I was like, and because when I transitioned out of the restaurant industry, I met a girl named Mai Pham. She's a sister to me. Introduced to me, hey, there's an opportunity with Van TV. For your question, back to your question, that they wanted to do a fitness show. I said, wow, let's do it. I want an opportunity. Yeah, we create a fitness show. So that's how I got first on TV as a personal trainer, fitness guy, bodybuilder on Van TV with my girl Mai, and she had a background in like pageants and marathons and running and stuff like that, boxing, and we molded together and started VFit Living with the very first Vietnamese fitness TV show, and that's what started the spark, not from me just being on TV, but wanting to become an actor and a film star.
Yeah. And with film, I don't know where this lies chronologically. I think it's been a few years, but you're in a series about Houston. Is it Fifth Ward?
Oh, yes. Currently, yes. Yeah, you saw that too. Yeah. That's fast forwarding to we shot that right before the pandemic, I believe, a year before the pandemic. Yeah,
we can wait to get to that. Then we can keep filling the gaps.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly how long ago that was.
This is 10 years ago when I did.
The VFit.
Yeah. Okay. It was over 10 years. Yeah. 2011, I resigned from the restaurant industry to become an entrepreneur, boss, chase my dreams kind of thing. Actually, because of fitness and the natural bodybuilding, it gave me the confidence. When I saw my body transform, like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm transforming my body like a movie star.
Yeah.
It's like, that gave me the confidence. That honestly, that's gave me the strength and the confidence to do what I'm doing everything today. That's what made me want to do competing, and then wanted to start my own fitness group, and then wanted to do a TV show, and then wanted to be a model, and then wanted to search for an acting agent.
So how did VFit help? Like, did it propel you into the film?
Oh, definitely. I told my partner at the time, my friend my sister, I was like, and I called like, you know, she's like a sister, she's not my real. I was like, I'm gonna make this tattoo famous one day, because I had just got it. I didn't just get it. I got it when I was like 21, my young days, and I was
pretty
like,
solid dragon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because dragon means strength, wisdom, and power.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I keep up with a lot of. I try to keep up with as much as I can,
Yeah, you
especially
do?
with like when it comes to tattoos or certain types of styles. Like I really like Japanese traditional
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
good right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
represent.
a big fan of that
Yeah,
stuff.
thank you. Um, yeah, so that happened, and I wanted to find an agent. I was like looking at stuff, and I just put in the work. A lot of fake stuff, I was just searching, looking around. I said, you know what? I want to be a model now. Because I was confident doing my photo shoot. I look great. You know what I'm saying? I want to look. I was just searching, putting things out there, and I got some replies. And then there's one agency in LA hit me up, said, hey, let's talk over the phone, see if it's real or not. And then I flew out there, booked the photo shoot, flew out to LA. They worked with me because they sold me good because I was Asian. There's not much Asians out there, which is true. No, his story was true, which got me to like, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna go for this, especially with your look and your fit. You know what I'm saying? Your physique. You know what I'm saying? I just reshared one of my photos from there. I had a UFC 4-ounce glove. I was looking like really.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You saw that
yeah.
one? Yeah. Because I was playing different characters and roles for the photo shoot.
Okay.
So that was about 10, 12 years ago, bro.
Dang.
Yeah.
You look the same.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. That's Temple Construction. Yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, that was like the birth of Temple Construction. Like the foundation was through me first. I want to be the leader. I want to show I can do this before I go out there. I want to be real. You know what I'm saying? I got a real transformation. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I went to LA, got photo shoots, and just that's how my acting career started. I was doing that at the same time. I was being an entrepreneur, growing my business, and I got into network marketing. I gotta give props to network marketing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It can be pros and cons. There's a lot of pros and cons.
If you don't have a decent network around you, the opportunities don't come.
Well, I did a
easily.
multi-level network marketing company, and that helped me grow as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I learned how to be a boss and an entrepreneur and work, be a leader. I made some good money. I was part of a good program. I incorporated with it was like a health shake. I incorporated with my training. It was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Hulk Hogan was behind it, things like that.
Oh, shit, that's cool.
Yeah. So that started my career, and then I just started getting modeling jobs. And then actually, I booked, I'm glad you brought that up because he hit me up today. I have a music video this Thursday. I'm going to be an Asian gangster.
Yeah.
So I have another one. So I'm pretty typecast on that, and which is okay. I like it because I get the good promotion as well with these music videos because they're rap artists. I did Big Pokey's music video.
I saw that.
Saw
you were
that?
basically
Sensei.
another Asian gangster, right?
Yeah. And I killed that role.
Suitcase of
I
money.
was so happy, and one of my living legends. I grew up listening to Big Pokey. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I was a wannabe thug. I still did. H-Town. I used to listen to DJ Screw, those tapes. We used to go get those tapes back in the days.
So did you ever have a screw tape?
Ecstasy and drinking and smoking. I was so bad.
Did you ever own a screw tape?
Of course.
Yeah.
CDs. I got 3 in the morning.
You
Red and Blue edition.
You still have it?
Yeah. I'll probably do. I gotta find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the original ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Original Fat Pats. Original all kinds of UGK. Man, you name it. Ghetto Boys. Original all of them. A lot of New Orleans rap too. I love that.
Yeah.
Of course, the
Master
regular
P.
West Coast. Yeah. Master P, of course. No Limit, yeah, of course, and then everybody, just So, but to fast forward, so not to lose track on that. But at least my culture.
No, you're
I
good.
was that guy, and I still am, in the good way. But then so and I started doing a role. I looked on Facebook, saw they needed some extras in a movie set. Shit, I'm gonna try. I hit him up. He was Vietnamese. His name is David Nguyen, one of the top cinematographers. Yeah, having his name be David Nguyen.
Yeah.
So it's quite for David Nguyen. I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I messaged him, said, yeah, sure, come be an extra at this location. Come. What the? Okay. And I forgot I got to look up on my IDMB with the first name. I already forgot the name. I'll think about it in a little bit. And I was just an extra. I was a party goer.
Yeah.
I was like on set. I said, wow, I'm in Houston on set in a little movie. They're shooting and say, okay, you say here you're a party girl, just act like. I said, okay, so I act like I was having drinks, meeting all these upcoming actors and extras and stuff. This is like 10 years ago. And then I met the cinematographer. I didn't know how important he was. You know what I'm saying? He was a director and producer. And he hit me up for a Street Fighter scene shoot, action shoot. And he needed
which Street Fighter?
Camille.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's because she was in town.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send that to you. I'll let you check it out.
Okay.
And I was the FBI guy or the secret agent knocking down the door looking for Camille. She's this beautiful blonde girl. I think she's from Europe, had a good accent, so she played the Camille role. But she had to, she ends up killing me, beats me up, ties me up in a chair, and electrocutes and kills me. You gotta check this out. And then she, and it's all Street Fighter scene, right? It's like Street Fighter based. And she's talking, forgot who she was talking to. But she had to rip my shirt off, so I had a nice physique.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So now, and that helped.
Yeah.
You get it? So they started leveraging my physique. And I was an Asian guy getting killed, shot, murdered. You know what I'm saying? And I did good acting too. You know what I'm saying? He was impressed with the acting as well. I was like, wow, I got something going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have much of a line, and that part didn't come to my career yet. When you start off, you usually, saying that type of work I did was a little extra work. So David Nguyen hit me up today, or he hooked me up with that Big Pokey video, you know what I'm saying? Because since then, I just been kind of like that typecasted Asian go-to guy in our region now.
Mm-hmm.
I put my name for it, huh?
If it works.
Yeah, it works. And I get hit up all the time for Asian roles, you know what I'm saying? And people hitting me up for work. I get auditions all the time from my agents. You know what I'm saying? I haven't booked a lot lately. It's a funny story behind it. I'll tell you later. But that's how I got onto it. So and then I start putting myself out there, getting these video clips of me doing work. And you got your naysayers, your people, your family members, your friends that you're not gonna make it here, blah blah. Well, I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta go to LA, Hollywood for that. And then just opportunity after opportunity start popping up.
I have a friend. I haven't talked to her in a while, but I'll always be a big supporter of hers. Her name's Jacqueline Blomquist. She was going to acting classes in Dallas.
Yeah.
Premier acting class, I think is what it was called.
Okay.
I don't know, but I always told her she's half Chinese, and so I always told her I really like one day you need to be a live action Mulan.
Oh,
and then
wow.
they did a live action Mulan. I was like, that's whack. It's not Jacqueline. That's whack.
Yeah. I feel you. Oh, that's awesome, man. You just tell her keep going for it. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta network, get yourself out there. That's another thing too. And I was doing this through my entrepreneurship, and I was struggling. I didn't have much money. Let me throw that in there too. I had to go back waiting tables, getting side jobs for a little while. My first 6 months to a year of being an entrepreneur back in, what was it, 2011? Yeah. So 2012. Yeah, I was broke throughout the years.
Yeah.
What's that balance like? Trying to balance fitness, trying to get jobs as doing acting or anything like that, and then also having to work and wait tables so that you can have money to be able to do those things. What's that like, trying to balance all that stuff?
As my first year as an entrepreneur, back then, because I saved a lot of money and I pulled out all my money from 401k with my last company. I cashed it all out, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I tried, and I didn't get, the business didn't take off, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fitness business, so I had to humble myself and go back to waiting tables at a sushi restaurant, Uptown Sushi, holla, and go back to working restaurants again, working side jobs, working jobs for my sister's foreclosure business company back in the days, and just picking up side jobs. I had no choice. I had to survive. I had to save money, and then I had to cut this back, and yeah, man, and then I had to narrow down my spending and stuff like that, and my living lifestyle, and just I started losing everything. My credit went bad. I had to give that up. I was managing my money properly. I was just making a lot of bad mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But my network marketing company helped me survive. I started learning how to survive in that. You know what I'm saying? Keep my expenses low. So I just made it paycheck to paycheck, hustle to hustle.
Yeah.
And that was just really my foundation of how my business is today. And then the foundation before that was what? Working in the restaurant business. That helped me to become an entrepreneur. Managing people, managing numbers, P&L, you know what I'm saying? Getting that experience on someone else's time, someone else's business, gave me all the confidence to be an entrepreneur and to how to run my own business, right?
So when did that lead you to starting up Temple Construction?
Fast forward, my acting career started coming up. I started doing more music videos. I finally got an agent, a local agent, and progressed, and then getting more jobs and more acting, and then started doing commercials. And then at the same time, training clients on the side, working at gyms, working for other gyms, private clients. I just did here and there because I was getting some clients. And then I just started focusing more on my fitness training, getting good clients, and at the same time doing network marketing. And then I had to go back to the club industry for a while. I worked in the club industry for a couple of years, so that was part of my nightlife entertainment. Met a lot of great people. Met the Wayans brothers.
Oh shit, that's
cool.
cool.
Actors. Yeah, bro, I got pictures to prove it. Yeah, I met a lot of great people, and nightlife people too, and local people, artists. A lot of MMA guys too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really started. I always had Temple Construction as I was going as an entrepreneur. What I'm saying? As a group fitness, as my brand, I always built that. So it was always being built. But I was noticing it was a reflection of how I was building myself too, as an entrepreneur, as a business. It was only a reflection of what I was. So I would get private clients. I still had Temple Construction growing. Even though I was waiting tables, I still was pushing Temple Construction. Even though I was selling shakes, even though I was pushing that shake company, I was still, Temple Construction was my thing growing up. You know what I'm saying? So it was always there. It was the birth of it. That's why I had a 10-year anniversary, because I started off 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It started a long time ago. But before that, I had years of more fitness training before that. So, the start of my calling with Temple Construction. You know what I'm saying? Then I went to California, and I wanted to move to California. I was like, I want to live here. I went for a vacation. This is right before Harvey. Right? It was before Harvey. That's a good timeline, right?
Yeah.
Right before Harvey, I go there. I'm like, okay, I want to transition my business to online so I can come and work out here as a fitness trainer and pursue my acting dreams. Because I was starting to progress. I was doing some great movie projects. I used to drive all around Houston and Texas for auditions. I had great representation, PB talent. I knew to get myself to the next level, I had to move to LA. Or at least that's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? And I got back and I wanted to do an online business. So I found, and I was struggling still too. I was struggling, bro. I was in debt. You know what I'm saying? I had credit card debt, all kinds of stuff, dude. You know what I'm saying? I just had a big dream, man. I was like, man, I'm going to make it. I'm going to get out of this. You know what I'm saying? I know I can make it. I'm going to get a big check one day. I'm going to get a big opportunity one day. Something's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And which is going to pay off all my struggles, pay off all my credit card debt, pay off everything I'm doing, me being who I am today, me being recognized as an actor now, as a model, you know what I'm saying, as a fitness guy, as an entrepreneur, everything. And I'm like, this is still the growing phase. So I found Tran to help me grow my online business coaching program. And that was right during Hurricane Harvey time. So right after that happened, that was the year the Houston Astros won the World Series.
Championship.
Yep.
And I had to ask one of my clients to borrow some money to start this business, online coaching, because I knew I had to hire someone to coach me. Now I was always doing entrepreneurship, personal growth and development, listening to Les Brown, listening to Tony Robbins, listening to all these greats, you know what I'm saying, as an entrepreneur growing up. So much more out there that I was listening and watching. John C. Maxwell as well.
You listen to Eric Thomas?
Eric Thomas, of course, you know. All these greats to push me across that line, you know what I'm saying? But I knew I needed someone to coach me. And I took a chance with him, and I liked what they were offering. I said, you're going to help me grow my online, you're going to save me every step. We're going to help you every step of the way, blah, blah. So I took the risk, did a payment plan. Right after Harvey, I signed up, and during the most struggling time, I was able to get online clients. During the holiday season, I was able to, with his system that he taught me, and me being a leader, a communicator, a business builder, a marketer, a sales closer, more than just a fitness guy,
right?
Or having a six-pack, knowing how to work out, or knowing nutrition. If you want to grow, you have to be good on these other skills to take your brand to the next level, which is how he became, So I learned that from him, and he gave me the system broken out, and I started an online coaching business. I was very successful in that. Started a men's online coaching business, and started doing social media marketing and network commercials and ads and stuff like that, paid ads, and then I transitioned to a hybrid coaching program, right, which offered online, in-person, and group training in person, and online training. because I transitioned both. And I started getting a follow on that. So, but I didn't have a gym. So my boy, a friend of mine, Walter, let me use his gym for a month. So I had to move away from there. Then I found another gym, Pro Dynamics, which is the owner of a former NFL football player. And he hooked me up with that role for 9 months. And then I grew and I started taking women. So I'm in this little small gym at Pro Dynamics. Donovan is his name. He's the owner there. Thank you so much. And yeah, and then I started growing and I started hiring a coach and I needed help. You know what I'm saying? And I had this online business. I started making money. I said, wow, I'm starting to make money. You know what I'm saying? And I had this online coaching going on, and in person, I'm learning how to close. I'm creating a system, you know, with my passion, fitness. I'm doing it right. I'm building a business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's finally coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? After all these years, you know what I'm saying? I got it. And, you know, I made it help. I'm getting results. I'm saving people's lives. People healing from depression, from borderline diabetic, high blood pressure, getting healed from medication, not taking thyroid medication, not taking cholesterol meds no more, being saved to themselves, finding the purpose of temple construction, eating healthy, saving relationships, saving sex lives, libido, testosterone booster, you know what I'm saying, saving relationships at home,
so
saving dads and moms, you know, people. It's helping out jiu-jitsu competitors, then the whole nine, bro.
I was just about to say, so all that with your gym and with your acting career, where did that start transitioning into MMA, jiu-jitsu,
right,
and everything?
So I found MMA or jiu-jitsu 2015-16. I joined Zion MMA. I reached out to Mike Tran. I saw him. He was a good MMA guy. I heard about him. This guy's in his 40s doing MMA, owns a restaurant, blah, blah, blah. I said, he's Vietnamese. I said, that was just like me, man. Like I was connected.
Shout out Mike Seafood.
Yes, Mike Seafood. Yeah. We should go there. All right, let's go there. All right. Yeah, I reached out to him. I mean, of course, he's Vietnamese. I was inspired by him.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, come out to run with us. I started running out with them, doing heels. And then I met some great other fighters. Jacob Silva was one of them. Rashawn Malik was one of them. Tony Nguyen was one of them. Like a lot of great guys. The list goes on and on. So he opened up to that industry because I hit a plateau with bodybuilding and cross training. I hit a plateau, kettlebells, and I did all the strength conditioning out. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted a new thing, and I was so into Bruce Lee because they had a movie role, Birth of the Dragon. They had an audition, open audition. So I started doing Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, one of the guests that we had on, the guy that did our logo, actually, he trained Jeet Kune Do. He said it wasn't too long, but I remember when he was doing it, and he was very into it.
Yeah,
so it was a very good time.
Yes, we texted Jeet Kune Do, Cleopatra. Those guys taught me a lot, starting off, because I wanted to know Jeet Kune Do for my Bruce Lee audition.
Yeah.
So that started off, and I ran into some guys, some Rising Sun Karate, Taekwondo, Sam Sprague, which is actually, the owner is JFD, White Dragon, Power Ranger.
Oh, yeah, Jason David Frank.
Jason David Frank. Yes.
He's coming out with a new role for. He's redoing the White Ranger.
Yeah, White Ranger. Yeah, he's in LA shooting it. So I'm gonna give all these guys shout outs. You know what I'm saying? I was just inspired by them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had that. You know, yeah. So yeah, in the local gym, I tried out Silverback MMA. Some trials, did it for like a week, maybe a few days. Here in Spring Branch because it was around, and I tried at some other gyms. So I started like doing some striking and stuff like that with knew some MMA guys, had bouncers that did MMA, so that they let me go to their gym and do striking with them. At the same time, I'm seeing like Derek the Beast training and, you know, just local guys.
Derek
you know what I'm
Lewis,
saying?
Jacob Silva.
Yeah, Jacob Silva. Yeah. You know, seeing these guys, I'm like, wow, you know. So, yeah, and then Zion MMA closed down, and then I went to Helium Gracie Jiu-Jitsu on West Timer.
The Gracie Baja?
No, Helium Gracie is different.
Oh, okay,
Helium
Gracie,
sorry. Helium Gracie is the original UFC, one of the UFC coaches for UFC 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I liked his lifestyle because he was about nutrition too. So, because I was gonna, I had a couple options to go to, so I ended up going to RGA, and that's where I met Professor Dentino, Luis Dentino, of Active Jiu-Jitsu. I started training there, and I got my blue belt there, got some stripes, and I grew, and I started competing. Started doing World IBJJF, local IBJJF tournaments, local tournaments. Started doing no-gi as well competitions. Started going to Las Vegas for competitions. My last competition there was during Hurricane Harvey.
Really?
All right. Happened. All right. 1 year. And guess what happened? We got stuck in Vegas for like a week because Hurricane Harvey was going on. So that week I wasn't here to experience Hurricane Harvey. I was in Vegas. I got stuck in Vegas.
Yeah. So horrible. So horrible.
So horrible.
Yeah.
It was. Because I couldn't be there for my family. But it was a blessing in disguise too. You know, I have friends in Vegas, took care of me. Jake, my boy Jake, he let me stay at his place. Went out, had fun, and had friends connections, and enjoyed my extra week. I had a friend that got stuck back and let me stay at his hotel for a few days.
How does it lead you to where you're at now, which is Metro Fight Club?
Yeah. Okay. So RGA had Muay Thai striking as well. So I learned from Cyborgino. I learned from Cyborg himself. Original Cyborg. Yeah. I learned my original striking Muay Thai with him and his brother Cyborgino. So I was taking some Muay Thai classes there. At the same time doing jiu-jitsu, I was doing pro grappling fights with Submission Hunter Pro as a gi and no gi. So I started that competition because I knew if I wanted to do MMA one day, I wanted to start off with these competitions. Then I started training with guys that were doing MMA. I was hanging with them, at least grappling wise.
Right.
I was like, wow. Started opening up confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I always had temple construction as my foundation. So I was healthier, fit, more conditioned, better cardio than most of these guys. And I was on the mats killing it because I had that. And it was looked down upon for a while.
Really?
Training? Yeah. Because, you don't need power or strength. You just need technique. Only technique.
Yeah.
And then bodyweight exercises or, things. So during that time when I first started, I was hitting the weights. I was stronger, faster, quicker than as a white belt than some overweight purple belt.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Overweight
It is
purple.
what it is.
Yeah.
Straight
it's
up.
Truth, yeah.
Or unhealthy blue belt.
Yeah.
There's killers out there too, a few here and there. Or very high level purple belt, but not very strong or conditioned or powerful. And I brought that. Now, but I had to mold out of that too because it made me stocky, more wrestling tight. I didn't know how to breathe. I was always on the go. I was fast. I was like, like a chicken with no head sometimes. There's so much energy, you know what I'm saying? But I was conditioned. I was strong. So, and I was getting out of submissions. I get submitted a lot too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know
if you're ever going to train jiu-jitsu, you're going to get tapped all the time.
Yeah.
That's just part of it.
Yeah.
But my game was just a little bit different, a little bit more abnormal than a regular white belt.
Yeah.
And plus, I was in my 30s too when I first started. You know what I'm saying?
So you had that grown man strength.
Yeah, I had a little grown man strength as well. You know what I'm saying? And I got humbled by a lot of kids too. Don't get me wrong, the younger guys. But I had a good background. Mm-hmm. But it was looked upon because you do too much weight, it makes you stupid. Which is true, yeah. If you train like a bodybuilder, you try to do martial arts or in striking, you're gonna get impact. Yeah. But eventually you do it right with the proper strength condition, the power, and based on what your goal is. Like if you're grappling, you can hit the weights a little bit harder than most. Heavy deadlifts here and there. Just make sure you're properly recovering, nutrition, things like that, supplementation so you won't get the strains, proper stretching, you know what I'm saying? And then your cardio is like you're grappling. So I mixed it all both up. So my first few years, of course, at RGA, I had to transition out of that. And I would be kind of like looked at as the guy with too much energy, too much power, you know what I'm saying? And too much speed, uncontrollable. When, the old-fashioned way is like, go your place. And I understand now as a purple belt what that means, but that's how I was back then. Yeah. So with President Tino, trained with a lot of great guys. I got my blue belt there, and then I was doing Muay Thai striking there. Did a little bit of boxing with Coach Joe there at RGA. Now, fast forward, I always wanted to join Metro Fight Club because Jacob Silva was there, Mike Tran was there, Rashad was there. I just wanted to follow that path. And Colton was there, and a lot of great guys I didn't know. I followed a lot of MMA fighters that came out of that gym. I saw the history of Coach Saul. I didn't realize
how prominent he's been. Yeah.
Original
for a long time.
Head coach, MMA coach, old school style, honored, you know what I'm saying, creating champions with like Chris Cyborg, Tito Ortiz.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these great guys he worked with, you know what I'm saying. Rico Rodriguez, don't forget that. Of course, especially him.
I wanted to ask you, he's the jiu-jitsu coach at Metro, right? Or no? Rico Rodriguez?
Yeah, he's the head.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I went to one of his seminars, great. Old school. He was like ADCC champ.
Yeah. First ever ADCC champ to win a UFC belt.
Yeah. Okay. See, there you go. So he's history. Yeah. And Coach Saul Solis was there for him. And then knowing that and seeing all my friends, and I was always inspired to. That's a joke goal. I want to do MMA. If I'm gonna do MMA, I want to do a Metro Fight Club. Well, at the time, their location was way out by U of H. Yeah. Which is me building my business in I-10 and Gessner. There's no way for me to do that. So, okay, I just went with it, right? I said, and I started talking to some of my coaches. I want to do MMA. I'm going to do MMA. It's in my mind. A lot of people didn't believe me. A lot of people, whatever. You know, I said, of course. You know, I said, it's all good, whatever. You know, you're too old. You heard this and that. Can you hang? You sure you want to get hit? You know, it's different. Like, just feeling all this fear. You know what I'm saying? Of course that shit crossed my head. What do you think it did? Yeah. Of course it did.
Yeah.
Duh, I know that. But no, I'm not going to fuck that, you know? And Mike Tran told me one thing that was great that stuck to me was that if you're gonna go for it, you better go for it, because once you get older, you're gonna look back.
Yeah.
So your time, because he knew my age time. He knew we were, you know, I respect him a lot. You know what I'm saying? And he always gave me good advice, and I always asked him. One of the things he said was that, you know what I'm saying? So all right, I gotta make it. I gotta do it within the next. I'm the most healthiest I've ever been. I'm most energetic. I feel great. My strength is good. My cardio is good. I'm missing great jiu-jitsu. I learned the foundations of grappling, foundation first.
Yeah.
The jiu-jitsu grappling. So I got that condition. I started rolling with guys that were higher level belts than me. You know what I'm saying? Started tapping higher belts. You know what I'm saying? Getting confidence in that. Surviving in roles that, you know, pissing off higher belts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, not tapping out when normally people would tap out. Yeah. Surviving in transitions and wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the background. And then people start realizing, hey, there's something to this. You know what I'm saying? There's something to this. Then I started helping jiu-jitsu guys lose weight because they don't understand nutrition and strength and conditioning and eating healthy.
Yeah, it's easy to get too laid back in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and just do jiu-jitsu, which is fine too. I'm not against it. But if you want to go take your body to the next level, you want to take your health and lifestyle overall, incorporate strength and conditioning.
Yeah. So with that, while you're working on Triple Construction, you're building this base for MMA and stuff, like, is one of the things that ever crossed your mind was, you know, like implementing a MMA type of strength and conditioning, because there's all types of strength and conditioning for all types of sports. And like we talked about like Phil DeRue, like there's him, he does boxing and MMA strength conditioning. Like, so is that something that you want to work with athletes who compete in MMA or boxing on to kind of build up their endurance
definitely
for that?
We already do.
Yeah.
Already have. Yeah. I mean, when I got someone like Jacob Silva reaching out to me or David Armos, guys I respect that have been in the game from day one, to come train at my gym or work out with me, or have fellow Metro Fight Club fighters that want to come and experience it. And I got high level black belts from, you know, coming to train and respecting what I do. Yeah, it works. And I get feedback from other disciplines, from Taekwondo, Judo, wrestling, regular sports, basketball players, football, baseball athletes, you know, you name it. I've helped it all. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand the formula. You know what I'm saying? I understand what to do, and I live by it.
Right.
And that's another thing, because I live by example. People see me living it.
And so you living it, you've had your amateur debut back in June?
Yes, last June 23rd was it? Yeah, June 23rd. And so how that got around about, so Metro Fight Club ended up moving to O Athletic.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, during the pandemic. Let's fast forward that. Okay, now we're talking about the pandemic. I just re-signed a 2-year lease at TC, and next thing you know, pandemic happened, and I experienced that. We survived that, right? And then Jacob tells me, hey, we're gonna move to O Athletic here. You know what I'm saying? I said, wow, it's only 15, 20 minutes away. I get all this, I get the gym, I get this, I get to train. This could be an opportunity to do MMA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get to train with you, Jacob Silva, and the guys, and this is when Adrian Yanez was blowing up.
Yeah.
More, you know what I'm saying? He started joining the UFC that time. He did the Contenders, remember?
Yeah.
Leo Martinez, he did the Contenders. Jacob Silva's doing the Contenders. Yeah, this is a hot time for Metro Fight Club.
It still is.
It still is, of course.
Oh, man, it's going crazy over there right now.
Yeah, it is. And I'm so honored to be a part of that energy, you know what I'm saying? That group of men, young professionals. Shout out to every single one of them, my coaches and my teammates, all of them. You know what I'm saying? The other members. You know what I'm saying? So I joined July of last year. It's 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I took the risk because RGA closed down, and at that time we had no jiu-jitsu place. So I offered Professor Dentino to come train at my gym, TC, last year. Did that for about 2-3 months or so, forgot. And that opened up his new facility down from Temple Construction called Active Jiu-Jitsu. So my Professor Dentino was able to live his dream and create his own gym facility right next to us during that transition of him training the guys and, you know, at my gym. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we trained Bojada style, Brazilian style, hot in TC gym. I did a couple of fight competitions during that time as well with Submission Hunter Pro. Right when I joined Metro Fight Club, Coach Saul and Coach Renee helped me out with some wrestling, some new ways. I helped my no-gi game at the time as well. And yeah, and then I told Coach, hey, my goal is to do MMA. And of course, they hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But they saw how I was competing as well as a professional grappler. You know what I'm saying? They saw what I can do. So they knew I had that background foundation. I was grappling with the other pros, other amateur fighters at the time at the gym. You know, I had some striking experience, but it wasn't right. I didn't know how to kick properly. So I learned amazing striking and kicking from Metro Fight Club. I learned a lot from other coaches that I mentioned, but when I got there, they showed me the right basics. Their system's amazing. And I started developing my striking game. And then I didn't do much sparring in the cage yet, and I finally started doing that. Then I started doing more sparring with the pros and amateurs, put my game together. Coach saw how to change up my muscle head physique, you know what I'm saying? Not putting my elbows in. I just had to do a lot of classes, a lot of repetition, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, Muay Thai combos, Thai boxing combos, learn the drills. I'm not leading with my back foot, keeping my back foot, staying orthodox. Learned a whole bunch about the game, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I would train that at my gym too. Train striking out for my members. We have a class called TC Combat Fitness, just fundamental striking, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to teach so I can learn as well, because I believe in that process. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I can see the mistakes, you know what I'm saying? So I just absorbed it all in. This is during the pandemic, recently last year. And then I was a goal for I want to do MMA. I approached Coach about it, you know what I'm saying? I kind of mentioned to Eric Garcia, hey, I want to do MMA soon, right? You know, you hear that, you know, so, and I started talking to my other MMA guys, and, you know, and I seen the information. I told Coach Saul finally, and then they had to test me, of course. So I started doing more sparring Monday, Wednesday nights at Metro Fight Club with the fighters. They give me feedback. I hung with some. I got my ass whipped by a lot. I learned and grow, right? Yeah. But I was conditioned. I had a good cardio and conditioning. You know what I'm saying? I was able to survive those 6-minute fucking rounds. Metro Fight Club style, bro. Yeah. You know, putting in hard positions, short rests. You know, I got my ass whipped a lot. Some pros took care of me. They taught me. Some amateurs did. I had some fundamental striking. You know, and just started developing my game. I focused on my game, my grappling, taking people down. Yeah. My jiu-jitsu. Didn't know I had that strength. My takedowns. You know, I had a good chin. I was taking some shots, swinging and banging. You know what I'm saying? I was always cleanest, you know, but because I did some striking and sparring before too. Yeah. You know, within, you know, at my jiu-jitsu school or when Cybergino had classes. So at RGA, I did some, you know, sparring here and there with Cyborg. I know I did some things like that with some friends outside our own time. But nothing like I did on Metro Fight Club.
Yeah, it's always different when you're training for an actual fight. Yeah. You're actually applying yourself and putting yourself through the workouts and the drills. Camp. Yeah, and the camps. Yeah. That's a whole other thing.
Whole another thing, yeah. So, and I was honored to be able to learn that, finally. And, Coach Saul's system, shout out to Coach Saul, God bless him. And, and Coach Renee over there and all the other fighters and coaches there helping out and just grow and develop. Started cleaning up a little bit. And, so Coach Saul's like, all right, you got a fight in 90 days. And, of course, you know, the fighters, too, they had to test me too, because Coach Saul's not going to want to represent me going out there. Yeah. Him knowing that, you know, I'm 41 years old, 40 years old at the time when we were talking about it, you know, thinking that my age is going to impact me. Even Some of my teammates did too. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So, which is okay. I don't blame you. I know.
Yeah.
But they started believing me more when I started training, developing myself, and hanging with them. You know what I'm saying? As far as, okay, I'm in there putting in the work. Maybe not hanging with them at their skill level, but taking an ass whooping by them. You know what I'm saying? And moving forward. And, okay, of course I'm going to make mistakes. I'm learning from them. But giving some shots back too and say, well, at least he's enough where he can hang, taking the beating, can condition, get his takedowns, playing his jiu-jitsu.
Earning their respect.
Yeah, earning their respect. Thank you. Yeah. You got to earn it. So it got to a point where the brothers started, welcoming me more too, and I could see the difference because I put in the work. I work 2-3 times a day, 3-4 times, 3-4-5 times a week. And coach saw me put in the work too and improving myself. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of technique and skill to striking and punching and blocking and kicking and combos and things like that. And then you transition all together and mold it for MMA. You know what I'm saying? And then they got to get out of my body mode of bodybuilding, too muscular. Had to lay off the weights for a little while, things like that, or change up my rep counts and my game, and then my nutrition and everything. And then all right. And then I said, cool. All right, I guess my fight's gonna be in July, right, this year. He told me about April, so I knew I had 90 days to get ready. I figured that. And then Eric Garcia hits me up for a Submission 100 Pro, this recent one. I asked if I'll do it. And at the time, I was like, man, I didn't want to because I wanted to strictly focus on MMA. But I knew, I said, if I do this for him, help out and get me back out there again and just, it'll probably put a good thing in his head because he reached out to me and asked me to help him out with that if I wanted to. I said, sure, let's do it. 150 gi with a guy from Team Took. He didn't talk about how good he was, but I said, I said, fine, sure, let's do it. Young kid, what can happen? Purple belt. My first purple belt debut too as a competitor. Yeah. So that was another story behind it.
Your purple belt with active jiu-jitsu?
Yes, active. And I got that this year too. And that was a journey. Yeah. I was over ready as a blue belt. My professor knew that. But I got my purple belt at the grand opening of active jiu-jitsu. So it worked out perfectly, right? Yeah, it's perfect. It's just a perfect story. You know what I'm saying? Perfect ending to that, And so did that. I said, yes, sure. And then when you go do your photo shoots, when you fight for these Submission 100 Pros, you go do the photo shoot, do the face-off, do the weigh-in. And Eric Garcia pulls me aside and said, hey, man, got something for you. Let's check this out. I got a fight coming up June. Now, this is probably like April, you know what I'm saying, when we were doing this for April, May, whatever. So you want to do it? It's 2 weeks after your grappling fight. I said, you sure you want me to do it, both? And he said, yeah, do both. They'll get you ready. Get you ready mentally and this and that and help you guys stay fit, right? And I didn't want to pass up the opportunity. I said, all right, let's do it. He says, it's an amateur debut series only. He's bringing us back around. It's going to be a good arena. Bring it back to Houston Arena Theater. First time in years. And this is going to be the next upcoming amateur fighters in our region.
Yeah. Yeah, the amateur series with Fury is really cool. Especially whenever they hold any event in the arena, I want to go to those because the arena is such a nice venue. Fighting, well, I guess we'll get there in a minute, but fighting in the arena must feel good.
Oh wow! We'll definitely get to that, and it did. Yeah. I felt modern day gladiators.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, bro. And I'll let you know how I kind of just confirmed that because Coach Solis from Third Coast, he posted something about that, how to respect these fighters. These fighters going out there, we're modern day gladiators, we're risking it all. The man in the arena, fucking like, I'm doing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I said yes to the fight, and I said cool. And then I did my pro grappling fight 2 weeks out, cut my weight down from 155 to 150. I was setting goals to the weight cut because that was one thing I didn't experience much about. But I had experience in, of course, weight cutting and eating healthy and getting down. So I wanted to set increment goals. So I wanted to get down on 145. I did weight cut practice before, and I hit that. I got down on 145. Because they say the last 10, and you want to get to 145, then the last 10 is what you want to be at, weight cut, on average. The healthy way. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like 10 pounds, 10 on your weight, on the weight cut week, right? The fight week. So I want to get down 145, and I did. So I want to set the goal as hitting 145 2 weeks out. I wanted to weigh in at 145 for my pro grappling fight. And I hit that, even though it was a 150. So I went in a little bit lighter. My opponent was a little bit heavier, stalker, younger guy. So I probably went in fighting at 148. I was a lot leaner. I was more MMA based. You know what I'm saying? I was a gi. But, he put me a good fight. But my jiu-jitsu showed. I got close to a submission. He got good submission attempts on me. It was a good back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up being a draw. But I was very proud of myself because he had a good history of jiu-jitsu, good school, good background, good lethal kid, over 10 years experience. And I survived his submission attempts. I got him good on submissions, got him tired. So I wasn't tired at all. You know what I'm saying? And I got some good attempts on him. And, and it went back and forth. And, and then from there, I just focused straight striking, MMA. And then my weight cut came around. Then that was 7 days out. And I did start water loading to depleting. And I hit the scale fight week at 135.4. That was a Friday, the morning before. Yeah, the fight. And it was a grueling process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But I did it the healthy right way. I did it enough to where Friday morning I was able to go run a mile to drop off some water weight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
With weight cutting, I think that's one of the most, maybe not the most talked about, but it's definitely one of the biggest concerns with people just getting into fighting, getting into competing is the weight cut. Any tips?
Oh, definitely, man. Do it the right way, gradually. For example, I'm just gonna go with my experience, and I learned a lot about the weight cutting through my teammate Luke. He's actually Luke Gilliam. Yeah, he's an amateur fighter as well. Killer. My little bro helped me out. Also from other teammates, Jacob Silva too, of course. Adrian Yanez, UFC fighter, learning from the best. Other teammates asking questions, other fighters that I was around. Everybody had a different style. Everybody did it differently. Justice as well. Justice Torres, he helped me out a little bit here and there. Everybody just gave me their advice, you know what I'm saying? Also Cameron as well, Babyface Killer.
Smotherman.
Yeah, Smotherman. He gave me some great, everybody just gave me great advice around me, Francisco Obinado as well. He trained at TC for strength and conditioning as well. He won his last fight submission. Everybody just gave me good advice. I just had to narrow down to what I did. But Luke Gilliam helped me out a lot. He went through the process with me. He helped me with my practice weight cut. And then we did it together. But with my background in health and fitness and me having experiencing it, it just got me back to I've done this before. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know how to eat. I know what not to eat. I know what, you know what I'm saying? So I ate good. I ate healthy salads. I ate healthy protein, good fats. I avoided, all the beer drinking, of course, and things like that. I had some red wine here and there. I won't lie. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I did my intermittent fasting. I did my apple cider vinegar when I needed to. I did some healthy, organic, plant-based foods a lot. I had some red meat here and there. I had poultry, seafood, salmon. Those are my main choices. Lots of nuts, mixed trail nuts as well. So those are my choice of avocado. I'm an avocado freak. Alkaline water, avocado, everything. All right, you know what I'm saying. So just really my lifestyle, my system, my eating habits, things like that help me out. And then the water depleting, and and the intermittent fasting, of course, a lot of that. So, fasting is been around for a very long time. It's in the Bible. Jesus fasted. Hello. Okay? That's when you first heard about it. Mm-hmm. So, but there is a spiritual enlightenment behind it. Okay? I want to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to a point where you're releasing ketosis, you get in this ketosis mode, right? And your body's starting to eat the body fat that's in your body. Because first it eats the glycogen, the glucose, right? The carbs, and the fats and the proteins, right? Then the body fat. After a while, once you don't have any body fat, it starts draining a little bit of water here and there, then your body goes in that mode, right? Ketosis mode, which is why you hear about ketones, things like that, and how intermittent fasting benefits that, right? Because it puts you through like a cell rejuvenation process. It allows your immune system to rest. It allows your body to get into a fight mode, right? Mm-hmm. And it releases great energy. That's why you hear people do a 3-day fast, 2-day fast, 1-day fast. I just recommend people start off with intermittent fasting. Here's how this works. Let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. All right, from 6 a.m. to noon, that first 6 hours, you're fasting. Only thing you're gonna have is water, coffee, green tea. Maybe some amino acids is okay for certain people, but that's mainly it. All right, you can have apple cider vinegar cleanse. I recommend that in the morning. Take a shot of that as well, with some water and lemon. All right, that's a perfect way to start your day. Cleanses your liver, flushes out all the crap, all the toxins in your body, breaks down your artery with plaque. You YouTube all this and look it up what it does.
I'm
Okay.
definitely look into that.
Yeah, definitely. This is I'm sharing my system right now. That I put all together. That's what I did with my TC system. I got the idea from Bruce Lee. I take what's needed, right, and really take out what's not useful. So I pulled all these different health and fitness phases out there, put in one program.
Yeah.
To benefit people. And that's what I've realized. Wow, I'm helping these people. They're going to doctors. They're coming back with these amazing results, saving people's lives. People getting off medications. This shit works. I need to tell more people about it. That's why I wanted to share my system. So that's where TC became where it was. That's why I went online, and that's where I got my own gym. Went through that, and God gave me a gym. Found that, and then gave me the confidence to do MMA where I'm at today. So with intermittent fasting, do that. And you won't have your first meal until you break your fast. This is why they call it break fast, right? But our society is having breakfast at what? 7, 8, 9 in the morning, which is okay based on your goal. But if you're 10, 20, 30 pounds overweight or diabetic or borderline, high blood pressure or whatever those issues, no, you can't have freaking McDonald's and Shipley's and coffee and with loaded sugar and cream for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay? No. You just had ice cream for dinner and tacos and, I don't know, fried rice, whatever, fried chicken for dinner. You still have that in your system.
Yeah.
Your body only broke down so much in that 8 hours of sleep. And you're about to reload it again, and then next thing you know, you come overweight. No, but to reverse that, you got to reverse your habits. So that's what fasting is. Fasting is just taking a break from eating. And the intermittent fasting comes in. I know a lot of people talk about this. Then you have the 8-hour window for meal consumption. What people aren't doing right, when they talk about doing keto and all that stuff, focus on quality good fats and proteins. Not fucking bacon and cheese and all this.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you just ate, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get you where you're at, to create clean fuel, to break down into your bloodstream, to, you know what I'm saying? There's clean fuel of oxygen and water flow throughout your temple. And I call it the temple flow, energy flow, to be used as fuel to rejuvenate and replenish and heal your muscles and that are being torn up from training. Yeah. And recreating new cells in your body and creating an anti-aging lifestyle.
Because that's what what's that?
This guy. You're the epitome of that.
Because I wanted to ask you about the keto diet, because I feel like a lot of people get the keto diet very wrong. And all they do is, like, I talk to people who did it. Like, I talked to somebody, she did the paleo diet and stuff like that. And when I talk with them about these diets, like, it's like, well, I don't get any carbs, but I get this, I get my fats, and I get all this. And it's like, you're on a fucking meat and cheese diet.
Yeah,
like, what do you expect? Like, why do you think it's like, why do you think you're losing weight? Yeah, you're not getting carbs, but you need a little bit of carbs, like, because I knew somebody who tried to do a zero carb diet, and they went to go play golf the next day, and they almost fucking passed out the golf course. And it's like you're not getting the carbs. You need the carbs still. It's okay to have a deficiency, but you still need to do that. So I wanted to ask you what your opinion on those types of, like, these diet fads, I guess.
Thanks, great question. With that, and there's some truth behind the keto diet. Yeah, there's a little bit, but when I coach my members, I tell them what to eat. They're like, oh, this is just like the keto. Oh, but I can't have this. I say, see, that's not like this keto. I just educate my members and my people what's the good carbohydrates and the bad carbohydrates, which is another word for high glycemic index and low glycemic index, which impacts your insulin levels, your sugar levels in your blood, right? So I just educate people on that, make sure they understand that, and then the calorie intake, they have to be calorie deficit. You know what I'm saying? You have to be calorie deficit. You can't, eat more, and you're trying to lose weight and you're barely working out, or you're only burning 300 calories a day or 500 calories. Or whatever it is, or you're not having at least 10,000 steps a day. You're sitting your ass off fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you gotta move around. You know what I'm saying? So all that comes into play, and understanding your heart rate, your heartbeat, understanding what range to hit with that. Okay, and then what happens is when you come one of our workouts at Temple Construction, you get these high intensity workouts to get your heart rate up. You develop TC energy flow, which ignites the energy in your core, your belly, releases the good happy chemicals, rises up from your intestines to your brain through the vascular nerve, right? Which releases what? Serotonin, dopamine, right? All the good happy hormones. Okay.
Science.
Yeah, let's break it down. And there's other ones too, and they allows you to release melatonin so you can sleep good. That's why when you work out, and some people can't sleep at night. I get a lot of that from my members until they start working out. Well, now you're training your body, releasing the proper hormones, balancing yourself. You're going to sleep. Why do you think after a workout or after training jiu-jitsu, when we're tired, when we're striking, we feel freaking great? We got heart rate up. We're feeling good. We're talking for hours afterwards. We're feeling good. Well, that's that resurrection energy flow. And that's that, remember called the runner's high?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was noticing that when I started doing jiu-jitsu. I got that high again. I was like, okay, great. I found that high again. And it was because of that. And I take a good pre-workout if you need to, a little caffeine if you need to, proper supplementation, yeah. Get out there, train, get your heart rate all the way up, the proper zone, 80, 90% of your max, consistently, feel good, sweat that shit out, pumping, boom. Eat right at the same time too. There's even better benefits because your fuel your body's using is being used to live an anti-aging lifestyle, create strong bones, create good red blood cells, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things like that. Create rejuvenate your cells, your cannabinoid system. I'm pro marijuana. I love it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Help me with my anti-aging too, because it slows down the aging process. It's properly done with the proper balance of it.
Yeah.
With the proper CBD cells that it impacts. With the proper sleep. I'm not saying, do this, that, and then go out and eat unhealthy every day and don't work out and this is gonna happen for you. No. Through TC, I preach this and I live this, and that's how I'm able to have eternal life here on earth. Just like in heaven.
Yeah.
Jesus said you can have it here on earth too.
Yeah.
And so how did so I know you said you're pro marijuana, so how did the CBD products come about?
Great question. I had a friend reach out to me. He was a distributor, and he said, "Hey, I can label up our product. Let me try it out first." I tried out his product, and it was good. Tried the salve. We had the salve. We had the roll-on, the oils. We have the tinctures. We're working on a pet line right now to put Mulan on there. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So I tried it out, and it worked for me because CBD started being well known. I said, you know what? Me being a boss and entrepreneur, go ahead. How much did it cost me to invest into this and put my brand on it? Because I can tell a lot of people about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Help a lot of people.
Right.
I help a lot of athletes, a lot of members with pain, muscle soreness. The tinctures, my members start telling me, I start taking it. I can sleep at night, feel good. I get that deep sleep when I take my CBD. You know what I'm saying? Get that deep sleep because you need to get in the deep sleep realm.
Yeah, that's why like whenever you actually were nice enough to bring us some of your gummies and stuff, and the first thing I said was like, man, this stuff helps me sleep so good whenever I eat like gummies or I've had a CBD cigarette even then, like like a pre-rolled CBD, and that stuff, like I'll sleep heavy. I sleep like thorough through the night. I don't wake up or anything, and so I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
No, thank y'all. I'm a giver, man.
Yeah,
it'll come back to me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all giving me this opportunity, so I'm gonna give it
for
to you.
sure. Man, we got a new plug. So,
yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you for that. And because I know it's gonna heal, because I'm more of a holistic lifestyle.
Yeah.
I transitioned over the years of me building TC, which is as a business builder, as I grow and develop. I'm more of a holistic lifestyle. When I started seeing my members and clients being healed and transformed from their sickness and illness, you know what I'm saying, through God's work, of course. I started believing that, and I said, you know what, this works, and I just stuck with it. Yeah. And then mentally, where they're happier, they got out of depression, stopped taking anxiety pills. So I had members stop taking depression pills because they found it through working out. They felt good. They looked themselves. Wow, I have energy. I'm dropping 10 pounds. I feel great. I'm wearing clothes I've never worn since high school and college. And my sex life was great with my husband and wife, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Relationships were bonding and strengthening. You know what I'm saying? People were confident. Their business is booming because they felt great. They looked great.
So you take this, these ideas and this process of how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, and all of this is to prepare for your fight. So, fight day, fight night. Walk us through your fight.
Bro.
It's the fun stuff.
So, after reloading, recarbing, or rehydrating after that weight cut, you know what I'm saying, and hitting weight and doing face off with my opponent, he looked younger, you know what I'm saying. They were from, I think El Paso, I forgot, or Laredo.
Okay.
Yeah, with a high level kickboxing gym in that area, in that region, you know what I'm saying. And I didn't know how old he was either. But yeah, I did a face off. He was a little bit taller than me. And I hit my weight. I hit 135.4 on the scale. He hit his weight. And then after that, I just rehydrated, went to Pedialyte, you know what I'm saying? And went to go eat with my boy Luke. He hit the weight with me. My boy, who else hit the weight? Omar.
Mm-hmm.
Hit weight too as well. I mean, excuse me, Oliver. Sorry, I said Omar.
Oliver. Okay.
Oliver hit weight. He was part of it. You know what I'm saying? Then we went to go eat. My professor, Coach Joe, went to eat with us. Had IHOP, had some pancakes, reloaded. Had pizza in the afternoon, reloaded up to like 145, 150. Bam, quick. I drank more water. And then the next day, I stayed fasted before the fight. Maybe I had a couple of snacks of some vegan muffins a couple hours before. And I was probably fighting at 145, 148 on the scale, I think, on fight day. Yeah. And then, yeah, man, I just had to stay focused, man. I was like, okay, it's about to happen. It's just been...
You're nervous?
I was confident in myself. It's a lot mental, bro. Like the whole process. Like after accomplishing the weight cut and battling myself each and every day to hit that weight, you know what I'm saying? Like, and hitting the weight, that was the hard part. That's why you hear fighters say that's
the hard part's done. Now you get to go do the fun part.
And because I was so confident in the cage of myself, and like, I'm a motherfucking fight regardless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's some nerves happening a little bit here and there, but I just had to tell myself mental. I had to speak some of my mental toughness. I had to speak, you know what I'm saying, those things. I had to tell myself greatness, I'm going to win. I had to walk myself through my vision of how the fight was going to go. You know what I'm saying, what I wanted to happen, and it happened. I heard knockout in my head, but I was like, I'll settle with a submission. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what God was just telling me that, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know, of course you want that at first, you know? Yeah. I want a first round finish. You know what I'm saying? I spoke all these things, man. I wanted to do it. I think it this thing too. You know what I'm saying? And didn't know what was going to happen.
It was good, man. So you were saying that you felt like a gladiator when you were walking down there, or when you were there. Did you start getting that feeling while you were walking into the cage, or?
Yeah, well, before that, I was like, okay, I'm separating myself. This is the real deal. I'm a motherfucking warrior. I'm doing something real that everybody doubted me, and a lot of people didn't think I could. Then I started proving that I could, and I can. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I have this opportunity. I'm training with the best. Like, everything was in alignment. I trained with the best, one of the best coaches in the game. You know what I'm saying? Best teammates, best inspiration of these young other men around me. You know, his best support system. My team buying tickets, and just having a great jiu-jitsu coach, great MMA coach, striking coach. Everything's all in line. Fight day happened, got there early, saw the Houston Arena Theater. I'm like, wow, this is the real deal. This looks awesome. Yeah. It's like a gallery style. And yeah, I was like, modern day gladiator, man. That's what I am right now. This is about to happen. I'm like visioning in there. And then we get to go in there, do a little warm up. You know what I'm saying? We did a little warm up in there. I was like, okay, this is real. You hear the cage, like, you know, you're training, you know, and then you get out, and a couple of the guys say, man, you guys look good in there. Me and Luke, you know what I'm saying, my teammate, we're warming up in there, Metro Fight Club style. You know, Oliver went in there too. And I said, oh wow, this is gonna happen. You know, take your pictures, and Luke already had 2 fights underneath him. Yeah. So he already had 2 fight experience, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to my debut. I know a lot of family members coming out, coaches coming out, my family. And the tough thing, I have family that didn't really support me. Yeah. They don't want to see uncle in there. Yeah, I was getting that too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get all the support like I want.
With sport like MMA, it's just it always happens.
Yeah, right. You get people.
Even to this day, people don't see it as a job or a sport. Yeah. It's barbaric. It's always the word people use for it. Yeah,
fighting. It's crazy. Yeah. But you know, now I believe in myself more. That I can, you know, go in there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So fight day was going around, and like, you know, we had a pre-fight meeting. I saw my competitor there. Checked in.
Your competitor was Ricardo Gutierrez.
Yes, Ricardo Gutierrez. Shout out to Ricardo Gutierrez from Laredo Kickboxing or Laredo Fight Club out there. Thank you for the opportunity, bro. Appreciate you. You know, thank you for the competition. Thank you for getting me ready mentally. Without a competitor, you know, as a warrior, as a martial artist, you know, as a balanced one. And I'm glad I became a martial artist as a mature young man, not when I was fighting in the club. Okay? Yeah, because I was a wannabe martial artist back then. I thought I knew what I was doing. But that's the beauty of life, man. Wow. It's just a chance to see it from how I was today. And God still gave me my dream of being a fighter. And it happened with hard work. And, it was getting closer. Then I started, you know, getting the back, and then the showtime started coming around. And then getting the back, and I stayed in the back when the first fight happened. This is where Coach Saul Solis, and he started wrapping me up. I said, oh my gosh, I'm getting wrapped up by one of the best coaches on the planet. You know what I'm saying? MMA coach. Wow, this has been real. Meeting other coaches, other fighters back there. I was in the red corner, take me up, and I'll post a picture of how Coach Saul take me out and say, oh, this is the real deal. And you can tell how professional Coach Saul did it. It was like a perfect wrap. I was like,
snug.
Yeah, he did. And he just the way I'm like, bam, bam, we were down here, bam, bam, bam. I mean, he did for all my other teammates too.
Yeah.
He did for, you know, all these other great fighters before me. I'm like, I'm living a dream right now. I'm so amazed. I'm like a fan of the fan. I'm a fan of myself right there. Like watching Coach Saul doing that. I said, oh my gosh, it's happening.
Yeah.
Then I got to share my story about my dad back there. I'm glad Coach Saul heard that.
Yeah.
So he knows this is deeper. Why I'm a Vietnamese Viper. Why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I believe Coach Saul is Asian too, has half Asian and whatnot. So it's to connect with the, you know, that part of the world, right, as a martial artist. And and it started getting serious, and then fights started happening. First fight, second fight, third fight. I was like the 10th or 11th fight, or 7th. For that day, I was about the 7th or 8th fight. Excuse me.
Yeah, you were kind of in the middle of the card.
Yeah, which was a good situation too. I was happy. And then which in MMA you want to be the last fight because you're the main event. You know what I'm saying? But I'm growing, and for me to have a debut and be halfway through the card, even my teammates recognized. They said that's good. Yeah, you know, that's not bad actually. You know what I'm saying? I sold tickets. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they're like, all right, here's the MMA gloves, put them on. Coach Saul was like, we'll warm up, blah blah blah. Start warming up because I was the first one out of my team. It was me, and then Luke was fighting after me, and then Oliver was after me. Then Luke came a few fights later. The guy that went out before me, he was in there, and he came back pretty quick. I said, oh snap, these fights are coming out fast. I said, it's getting close. They're like, oh, we need to start, we start warming up.
Fury moves fast.
Yeah.
They once that fight's over, as the fighters are getting out of the cage, they bring out the next fight. Yeah, they move fast.
Yeah, man. And then doing some drills with Coach Saul. We did a couple drills out there. He was hitting the pads with me, getting me ready with some movements of his great genius. Man, he did the right training drills with me. Yeah. The perfect ones with my teammates, myself. Gave me some couple good pointers. Remind me what my strengths are, what's not. Focus on this. All right. And then, all right, next, David Nguyen, coming on next. I said, oh, snap, it's for real. I grabbed my flag, I put my hat on, I got warmed up just enough. All right, this is it. I got put on, game face, and then get out there, and then I hear my music, Big Pokey. I chose that song, Sensei. Yeah. Because I was on this video, What's Up, Big Pokey? Living legend. Honored to be on that video. I got to check it out on the YouTube, guys. Big Pokey, Sensei. Download his new album. And then when that song started coming on, I was like, this is it. And then opened up the curtains. I had my Vietnamese flag walking out. It was a perfect spot because I had the section right there, and that's where all my members and fans were. Yeah, well, that's cool. My friends right around that area, so right there. And I walked out. I was like, this is perfect. And Sensei, walk out there. Welcome, David Tran Nguyen, Vietnamese Viper, or whatever. Walked up there, and I'm like, okay, I like this. I was walking out there crunk. Yeah. I was energetic. This is showtime. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a high energy type of guy. I'm happy. I'm doing it. I did it. Yeah. Each phase of it, bro, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I did it. Each phase, even warming up with Coach Saul in the back. Yeah. I was like, wow, I'm actually doing this. I'm about to get out there, man.
So you're in the cage. They call out your name, and then when they get you started, what are your thoughts? Are you thinking game plan, or are you thinking?
Well, I already had a game plan in mind. Focus on my strengths, and when they were putting like the Vaseline on me, and the mouthpiece, and getting everything, and going the rules real quick, even with Mr. Solis, the ref, putting that on me, it was a dream come true, man. Like every step of it was things like I used to watch. We watch UFC all the time, Bellator all the time, One Championship all the time, YouTube all the time, local, and other fighters, and then finally to see me on doing that, watching my other teammates, Jacob Silva, all these other guys, the Texas kids, Smotherman, saying Leo, saying Adrian Yanez, all these other guys, saying gone before Justice, JT, my teammate Luke, to see all in front of me, before me, doing it. And then me finally doing it is like, wow. It was a great feeling that stage. I said, all right, that cage is about to close. It's about to get serious. And then I just focused. I went in there calm, cool. I've done this before, and the experience with Submission Hunter Pro helped out so much. Yeah. So I recommend that, guys, upcoming fighters, guys, get you a couple Submission Hunter Pros, make sure you get some competitions. Some people just or they already fought Muay Thai or kickboxing background, but get some Submission Hunter Jiu-Jitsu training in. Get that background in. You know what I'm saying? Get out there, especially you want to fight for furry fighting. Get you a couple of those before you do your first MMA fight, because it can help you out a lot. But some people may not need it. I'm just recommending that.
Yeah.
So when I got out there, I did it. All right, this is real. All right, it's just starting to get real. Close that. You know what I'm saying? And the announcer, shout out to the announcer, Mad Dog. Then they started announcing. They said my name. They said Vietnamese Viper. I did my, trademark, cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? And they said my name. I said, wow. And they're going to close it up. All right. Ring announcer starts walking out. Close the gate. My coach gave me some last little tips, what to do. I saw him right there to my left. Yes, sir. Calm. I was all right. This is it. In my head, like, you're going to win. You're going to whip his ass. Let's go. This is what you've been working, training for. You know what I'm saying? And throughout the process, like, in my heart, I don't want to hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In my heart, I don't want to break your arm or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, shit, now it's like I had the great advice from my teammates, man. It's do or die, bro. He's trying to do it to you. It's all right. Then find out he was, not yet. And then, ding, ding, ding. Give him the high five. And that's when it happened, man. And it felt great.
Yeah.
We went for a couple of strikes. Blocked a couple. Did a couple of strikes, took him down. Pushed him against the cage. Played my game. You saw that, right?
Yeah, it was a very fast-paced
fight.
very
fast-paced. Yeah, he was moving fast. I didn't realize it. You know what I'm saying? Controlled him, went down. Thank God for my grappling, my jiu-jitsu game. Got back up. He had a head guillotine attempt. Pushed him against the cage. Started working my cage game. I worked a lot in cage. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot of that in Metro Fight Club. We're always working cage game. Because I know it's important. That's part of like the art of war, to utilize your surroundings and what you have in a battle. And you have the cage, you use it. And plus my grappling, jiu-jitsu background, perfect for it. And then the second attempt against the cage, he loosened up the guillotine, got him. I know I was pushing some pressure on him. Inside leg trip, took him down, fought for position. And I've been at ocean so many times in my life. So that was my world, swimming in the ocean with him, drowning him, holding him, controlling him, using my strength and conditioning, my technique, my grappling, just like a viper wrapping up his appetite, his enemy. Wrapped him up, he was pushing me around, finally got side control, then went to mount, put that pressure on him, and at that angle, I got my hooks in, holding him down, fighting me, pushing me back, and then I started controlling his hands, his arms, started doing some blows, and my goal was to control one of his hands and do a ground and pound, but but he was moving around. He was a martial artist. I can tell he had some basic good jiu-jitsu ground game enough to compete. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he worked on it. I'm pretty sure he researched me. He knew I was a grappler too, because he was more striker too. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's his background, kickboxing school. What do you think?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, man, I got to be ready for kicks and punches and stuff like that, everything. But I took him to my world, took him to my ocean, he was drowning. You know what I'm saying? The Vietnamese rapper was just working it. And then the next thing you know, went around, started doing some ground and pound on him. Bam, 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 got some blows. And then finally turned to his side and took his back. And I was like, oh, I got him.
Yeah.
I started doing a rear naked choke, and he started moving around, got my hooks in. I didn't secure the choke good enough, but I did have him. And I was surprised that he survived it. I didn't get it deep enough, my angle. I didn't push my hips into it enough. And then he was pulling down with 2 hands to 1. With the rear naked, it's 2 hands to 1. So I didn't control his other arms very well. So me fighting, but I was fighting long enough. But finally he got it out. And, and then I was transitioning up. He gets up fast, do some strikes. I did technical stand-up with my jiu-jitsu. Got up. He pushed him off a little bit. And I was ready. And in my head, I heard, give that 2-3. Rocked him with that 2, walk off, knockout. Went back with that 3. Didn't need it. He was already down.
Hit him with that Viper strike.
Yeah, I released that Viper venom, baby.
Dude, that was a fucking right hand was dirty. Like,
right?
Yeah, shit was, you have a heavy right hand. Like, it was the way he just fell right on his back. I'm sorry to interrupt your story.
No, it's good. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. What was your point of view of that? Yeah.
Like, it was just like, I remember I watched it and I was like, he hits fucking hard. Like, I knew you were fast, but like the power you packed in that punch.
It was like a piston.
Yeah.
He fired it off and he went down.
He fell straight, like, flat on his back. I was like, damn.
I like these analogies. You're right. Yeah. Thank you, man. And that's Metro Fight Club got me ready, bro.
Yeah.
Coach Sausalese, training, being quick release, my strength and conditioning at TC. You know what I'm saying? Like having the power through your legs, through your toes, releasing my torque. You know what I'm saying? I had to. And and it hit right on the money, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I saw him hit the ground, you know what I'm saying? Because I think after the punch, I probably like squinked a little bit. It's natural. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I came up. I was about to hammer fist him, and that's when the ref came in and stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that power release, bro, that energy, that feeling is why I'm looking forward to my next fight. Is why
I was about to say
MMA fighters want to keep doing MMA.
Yeah. I was about to say we're coming short with time, so we'll go ahead and kind of run it up. That got you to be 1-0 as an amateur MMA fighter, on top of everything else you've done that we had talked about. Now you're technically undefeated. You're an undefeated amateur MMA fighter.
I like that.
And you're looking to go 2-0. What you got for your next fight?
It's projected coming up next couple months. It's not confirmed yet, but it's been out there saying that it's October 2nd, same arena. Eric Garcia was very happy with my performance. Obviously, so shout out to Eric.
Should be.
He said it was a fantastic job. I was very happy. When I I saw him was very happy with in the audience. Mickey Maynard was there, showed up afterwards.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to take it one fight at a time, man. I'm going to let whatever God has in store for me. I'm healthy. I'm strong and fit. As long as I don't get hurt, I keep my training. I'm not going to stop. Told Coach Saul I'm going to keep going and see where God takes me. Told my teams I'm going to keep fighting. And, Eric Garcia said, fighters on that card are going to get another opportunity.
Yeah.
October 2nd at the same place. So just waiting for the announcement. We'll see. I'm waiting on that. So I'll let you guys know. And I would love for y'all guys to be there.
For sure, man. We'll be there for the next one for sure. That's what.
Go ahead.
What's it called? One of the things that me and Zach always talk about, especially when we go watch these local fights, is like when we see a Metro Fight Club guy, I'm like, they got fucking hands. Like these guys have hands for fucking days. Yeah. Like they just all of these Metro Fight Club guys just have such great boxing under Coach Saul, and I know they have ground too with working with Rico Rodriguez as well. So, but like when I watch like somebody like Adrian, and I've been following Adrian for a while.
Nice.
And I've been following him since he was an amateur and stuff. So, because I actually went to the same high school as him.
Oh, cool.
But he's a couple of years older than me. Like, I went to LaPorte, and we never really ever crossed paths. I remember seeing him here and there, but like he was just he was just another guy.
Yeah.
And so I see it now. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But I remember even back in the day, I knew he had boxing. And I see guys like Mano Martinez, starching guys in like a minute or 30 seconds.
Yes.
then there's Jacob also that dude's in and out.
Exactly.
His in and out
Cameron,
is so good. Yeah.
Texas kid.
That's what man. I was looking forward to see because I could tell Cameron has good boxing.
Oh
I could tell
a great striker.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, he's jabbed me, counter jabbed me, uppercut, hooked me, body shot me plenty of times. Adrian has, Jacob has, they all have.
Yeah, I don't know
and
how.
I love it. I'm honored to. Lauren, go ahead.
But when I saw Cameron in person, I mean, I was like, how do you make one? He fights at 135, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how, dude. That dude.
He walks around 140 something. He told me, yeah. So his weight cut is gradually
it's really easy. But he looks bigger than 135.
Right. Yeah. He does, and he's very athletic, very fast.
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying? That last fight he had, unfortunately, he went against a
wrestler.
Yeah, wrestler. Yeah, top wrestler. Mm-hmm. He took him down, and not that we don't have wrestling. We do wrestling at Metro too. It's just that was his whole game plan.
Yeah.
And he did because I
showed.
know. Oh yeah, Cameron was just striking him up. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference between a striker and a grappler. And, you know, that's I mean, like, you know, I'm gonna use that similar game plan probably against a striker if I have to too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said earlier, I was able to display all of my skills in that first amateur fight, and I thank you for mentioning that. So
being able to show what kind of ground game you can have on top, on bottom, offense, defense, and then to go onto the feet and show a great defense but a great offense on the feet. I think that's just one of the coolest ways to show your skills is if the fight goes everywhere. Going in there, like with Leo Martinez, his fights, obviously it's fun to watch the dude go in there and knock someone out in 30 seconds. But it's also I think it's equally as cool to watch two guys go in there and show every skills that they have, whether it's 1 round or 2 rounds or 3 rounds. It's just crazy to go see guys do everything.
Yeah. That's what a mixed martial artist does. Shows you right there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, years of training got me the confidence, being the right coaches, making a discipline. Working out 2-3 times a day. Yeah, bro, I'll get 2 or 3 workouts. Like tomorrow's Monday. So thank you for the sushi tonight. That's going to be my energy for tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be using that for my AM training, strength conditioning training at TC. Then I probably do some cardio, lunchtime. Sometimes I go to Metro Fight Club and train or do jiu-jitsu at Active. And then evening time, I do sparring at Metro Fight Club at 6 p.m. That's 4 days tomorrow. So, and training camp pretty much starts. So I'm starting my training camp already, technically. So I'm just now going to narrow down even more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And really make sure I get my striking training at Metro during the week, things like that, and just keep training. Yeah, stay healthy, fit.
As we bring it to a close, so you're looking for October 2nd for your second amateur MMA fight. And that'll be with Fury Amateur Series in the Houston Arena Theater. What do you want to let us know about Temple Construction? What do you want to let us know about Metro? What do you want to let us know about what you got going on?
Thanks. Real quick, thank you for letting me share with Temple Construction. Hey, guys, if men or women out there, if you're battling some challenges with your health, living borderline health issues, mental challenges, whether it's depression to anxiety, you know what I'm saying, or you want to just find a good workout group, a good community, nutritional guidance to help you out with, okay, or even if you're an athlete, mixed martial artist, or just a practitioner wants to deal with strength and conditioning game, whatever it is, if you're looking for a group and a leader and a coach that's going to help you transform you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, that's going to benefit you financially, you know what I'm saying, and you want a serious leader and a program and system, hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook, David Tran Nguyen, or my Facebook page is David T. Nguyen. Instagram is at David TN7. Our Temple Construction Movement Facebook Instagram page is at Construct My Temple. My website is constructmytemple.com. Hit me up. I would love to help and support you guys on any of those challenges. I promise results as long as you promise to commit and do the work.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys. God bless you guys. Sure. Hopefully we talk about the next fight or after the next victory, all right?
Yeah,
real soon.
We'll be very happy to have you on again, man.
We'll have to come by the gym and work out for sure.
Great show. Hey, make sure you guys follow these guys. Anybody listening, check them out. Good people. Good idea. They manifested what they're passionate about. And if any other martial artists or entrepreneurs want to come, hit them up.
Yeah. All right. Y'all take care.
Thank you.